I already rolled bandages in the local hospital and folded endless sheets. Every evening, I knitted socks for lonely soldiers. Each weekend, I dug in the Victory Garden up in the hills. And now I had to labor on a school we kids didn't want rebuilt anyway. Besides, with strict food rationing, we were always hungry and barely had enough to eat. Somehow, I found the will to trudge upstairs to the black-draped dead rooms, find the dark mirror and complain, I can do that. I almost couldn't, though. We toiled in freezing weather with Stone Age tools, battling the pitiless wet beast that was the Welsh winter. I can do this, I kept repeating, and somehow I knew that I could. Much later, at a new convent school, I decided to become an overachiever. I knew I wanted to teach the type of damaged children I'd watched suffer so terribly during the war years. There, we were taught by nuns so severe and so slap-happy that we naive children assumed they must all be in training for Olympic boxing. One day, though, the nuns decided I deserved a special honor. I was taken out of math classes and sent to the church to embroider intricate designs on the priest's robes, considered a privilege for a young girl. I couldn't know then that I was sealing my own academic fate. When the prestigious exams came, which would determine who would go on to university, I, of course, failed math miserably. It was quite a foreign subject to me. When I realized that my dream seemed over, I was paralyzed with despair. Soon after, though, I marched down to City Hall and demanded to see the eminent director of education, who sat there on his gilded chair like some ancient, powerful king. He grudgingly received me and explained why I couldn't go to university. To enter, I would need years of night studies, much of which would be self-taught, since the college professors couldn't be expected to help someone so far behind in basic skills. I stared at the distinguished Dr. Horatius Drew and said, I can do that. I made him promise, though, that he must save a university spot for me if I could achieve his fearsome list. So, mostly in solitude, I labored on, and my four magic words kept me afloat, at times when I felt I was sure to drown in the deep waters of my lonely little academic world. That formidable gentleman kept his word, though, and a few years later was there to cheer me when I graduated with highest honors from the University of Wales Teachers College. The last event I want to share with you involves Brandsman University and my position on this platform. Some years ago, my long-time marriage ended, and I realized I would have to return to teaching to survive financially. I was stunned to survive that my shining British credentials were almost meaningless in California, and that I would need a brand new degree, plus a torture test named the C-Best. I think I can't find the right words to express my gratitude to Wanda Volmer and Louise Iredell in the Monterey campus for the support and guidance they gave me. I listened in near terror to the classes I would need to master, including this horror for all senior brains, statistics, and made a decision. I can do that, I said calmly, and the fact that I'm here with you proved that I could. And Thank you. And now a thought about those hard-won degrees. No matter how bright or gifted you are, each one of you will face many challenges in the illustrious careers ahead of you. You live in an astounding technical world that can give deep power and meaning to all you achieve. You have opportunities and adventures that earlier generations couldn't have dreamed about, and you will brave a frontier of knowledge that can make our tiny planet finer for all mankind. Yet you remain human and vulnerable, and obstacles, both personal and professional, can toss you off course. Some stumbling blocks will be simple, some serious, and many have the might to break your spirit. Yet if you stay strong with your own stout heart and the faith of your soul, you can accomplish magnificent goals. If you are ever told that a dream is not possible, simply look in the mirror, take a deep breath, and state bravely, "I can do that." Thank you.
Thank you for those inspiring words, Ms. Morgan. Now I would like to present to you the student speaker representing the university's graduate students, Brian Justin Marks, Organizational Leadership from Modesto.
The last time that I was in this building, I sat right there in the second row and saw George Lopez. So, tough act to follow. Greetings, Bramden class of 2012. I am truly humbled to be standing before you today. For today was a day that for so long I never thought was possible. And I'm sure for many of you the same could be said. If my mom could see me today, I'm sure she is smiling from heaven and relieved that I finally did it, and so am I. For most of my life, I was the dreamer who didn't want to work to achieve the dream. I was expelled from high school. I was abused and suffered from the deepest levels of low self-esteem. Slowly, over time, with the love and support of my mother and my brothers, I began to find my way in this world. For it is during the darkest times that we must be willing to let others shine a light in a dark room for us. I am sure for each and every one of you, there were times you felt like giving up, throwing in the towel, or just felt like this was too hard. I am sure when that happened, there was someone, a parent, spouse, friend, mentor, or even a child that helped you realize that you could do it. My mother passed away 3 years ago and always dreamed that I would get my master's degree. She always said that if I applied myself, I would do well. I was not so sure. But in the times when fear and doubt would slip into my mind, I looked to the two people who turn on the bright light in a dark room for me, my beautiful wife Sandy and my son Kyler. With their help, I earned straight A's through my entire program. So before we go any further, let's take a second to thank everybody who helped us get here today. It takes great sacrifice, desire, and dedication to achieve what we have all achieved. What did we sacrifice? The most obvious sacrifice was sleep. But the hardest sacrifice was time with family and friends. What was our desire? The desire was to chase our dreams because we wanted more in life, and the belief that on the other side of this piece of paper is the answer to our dreams. How were we dedicated? While we wrote papers at 4 o'clock in the morning while the rest of the world slept. We studied until midnight on a Friday night while the rest of the world celebrated life. And while others got to spend time with their families, we had to ask our families to be patient because we had homework to do, postings to complete, and essays that had to be written. Bramden is not the traditional path that one takes, but I am so thankful that I finally mustered up the courage to walk into the Modesto Bramden office and sit down with my advisor. Like most of you, as I filled out my paperwork, I was overcome with great fears and many doubts. And like many of you, I kept my fears and doubts hidden. I was overwhelmed by the personal attention that I received from every single person that I encountered in that office that day. Upon walking out the door, I knew that I had made the right decision. Today, I count several of the people in that office as close friends. Thank you, Bramman, for making a scary decision the right decision. Because of Bramman, all of us here today will go out into the world with our bachelor's degrees and master's degrees, and we will be successful. So what is next for each and every one of us? Many believe that right now the world is a scary place and there could be no worse time to enter the workforce. As a person who now has a master's degree in organizational leadership, I can tell you there could be no better time than right now. The world, and more so our communities, need us to step up, and they need us now more than ever. There are problems out there, but as President John F. Kennedy once said, our problems are all man-made, therefore they can be solved by man. Now is our time to shine. Our time for the next generation of doctors, lawyers, teachers, nurses, and accountants to step up and show the world what we are capable of. For many of us here today, the journey to this stage was anything but easy. It was anything but routine, and it was anything but traditional. Today is the day that we can take a deep breath, smile, and say, we did it. I wish to leave you with my favorite quote from Mr. George Bernard Shaw. Some people see things as they are and ask why, and I dream things that never were and ask why not. Good luck to you in your future journeys, and may God watch over you and bless you. Thank you very much.
Terrific speech, Brian. Thank you. We shall now proceed with the presentation of the candidates for the Master of Arts and Master of Science degrees. These candidates have been approved by the faculty, the Board of Regents, and the Board of Trustees to receive the degree indicated in the program and on their diploma, subject to completion of all requirements. Will the candidates for the Master of Arts and Master of Science degrees please come forward?
From the School of Arts and Sciences, Master of Arts in Psychology, Lisa Catherine Atkinson. Karen Brophy. Nancy Spears. Karen Cook. Susan Coots. Darla Lynn Gale. Nancy Gibson. Krista Whistler. Sherry Hill Anderson. Darren Michael Hamberlin. Lorraine Mooney Rosing. Nardone. Allison Nardone. Janine Schiffer. Junko Quest. Colette Budaba. Gemma Roberts. Shelby Sperry Amador. Wendy Steiner Vogel. Kristen Bryce Reed. Brandy Sue Ryland Carey. Deborah Velasquez. Margie Amy Allen. Grace Brown. Miriam Gonzalez Gomez. Sally K. Huerta. Karen Mugan Torres. Yesenia Sanchez. Irene Rivera Valverde. Georgia Allen. Jolene Stone. Marcy Ann Topinko. Right here. Nice outfit. I like that. Jeffrey Lydell Comer. Good morning, sir. Manuel Cordero. Hello. Ophelia. Ophelia Ramirez. Kraus. Derek Kraus. From the School of Business and Professional Studies, Master of Arts in Career Counseling. Catherine Casinos Carr. I'll shake your hand. Rebecca Negrillo. Master of Arts in Organizational Leadership. Brenda Roper. Colleen Victoria Whitmire. Jesse Oswald. Victoria Solis. Gregory Cantrell. Jeffrey Clayton Lewis. Ray Ariano. Juan Christian Flores. Camelia Elena Baluta. Stanley Tom Bell. Adam Levitt. Christy Samantha McMahon. Robert Charles Sanders. Larry Clinton Starkey, Jr. Mehroz Shati. Stanizai. Sadat Stanizai. Brian Justin Marks. Samir Wafa. Orania Zavitsanos. Julie Creek. Michelle Gardner. And this is Ryan Allen Jenkins. I want to see you do that. Mary Rodriguez. Nathan Michael Moreno. Master of Business Administration. Ricardo Antonio Aldohando. Lisa Brannon. Rebecca Gaeski. Norma Rodriguez. Thomas Matthew Fenton. Vanessa R. Jackson. Elizabeth Sandoval. Jason Charles Berg. Oh, boy. Jessica DeNegro. Dina Sanders. Cynthia Lee Malone. Master of Science in Human Resources. Alfredo P. Saldivar. July Marie Cole. Zania Harris. Dana St. Pierre. Jeanette Tess M. Diaz. Denise Garcia. Eleanor Dominguez Bruton. Susie Nunez. Chacon. Leslie Lynn Chacon. From the School of Education, Master of Arts in Counseling, Mario Alcazar. Dossetti. Allison Ju Dossetti. Alfred D. Neep. Anna Elise Ott. Education Specialist degree in School Psychology, Master of Arts in Education Psychology, Stephen Alexander Barco. That's a lot to say. I know, especially. How you like that? Amanda Drayton. Valente. Kimberly Valente. Noel Ochoa. Amanda Pena Aldrich. Victor Jovan Ramirez. Baisden. Brian David Baisden. Jessica May Cervantes. Susan Dorazio. Britta Francesca Fisher. Margaret Freifeld. Dana Jarrett. Master of Arts in Education, Cheryl Spence. Jeffrey Rutherford. Carolyn M. Cano. Anna Marie Camboya. Anna Marie Camboya. Michelle Baker. Can I say? Okay. Sanjasne Monica Kumar Lara. Lucy Meza. Sylvia F. Jones Scott. Reba Woodward. Hello. Brenda B. Armstrong.